Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Innovation Talks. We are so excited you've joined us today. We are really focusing, obviously, on innovation. Always the aesthetics to your projects, we know, are so important. But today we want to look even beyond that. We want to look at function and form. So we're pretty excited. We have 6 amazing panelists that are joining us. Each will share highlights individually. Then we'll come back at the end for a quick roundtable discussion about the future of innovation.
This is Danny from the View Centurion Window Fashions, your Hunter Douglas Gallery.
Hi everyone, welcome. I'm Jacqueline from LightLock and The Resource.
Hi, I'm Ilse from IDC Home Belgian Design.
Hey everyone, John at Big Ass Fans Canada.
And I'm Tracy from Big Ass Fans Canada.
I'm Gabriel from Kaplan. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Gabriel from Kaplan.
And I'm Victoria from Sherwin Paints.
And I'm Emily Grundy from Sherwin Paints. Thanks for having us.
A very special prize, as I said earlier. We have the wellness box that's been generously provided by ID Style. They're kicking off their 30-day wellness channel. Check them out on Instagram as well. The winner will be determined in a new way. You will be able to be part of our voting process after this show, that anyone who has the most innovative questions could be a winner today. So stay with us till the end and we'll let you know by email after.
Awesome. So first on the docket, we have Danny from The View, Centurion Window Fashions. Take it away, Danny.
Thanks, Nadine. Hunter Douglas is proud to introduce the LightLock system. It's the only one of its kind to deliver on the promise of blocking 100% of any incoming light via interlocking side channels. And here's a video to show you what it does. Okay, also I want to add on, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, I just also would like to add on, not only is it the best room darkening system on the market today, it's also the most energy efficient. So the Duette system has what we call the Architella system. It's a cell within a cell, so it actually saves up to 50% of energy costs on air conditioning cost and heating cost as well. And also with a touch of the button, the new PowerView system, you can make the blinds go up and down by just touching a button, or just say, Google, raise my blinds. And you can also set the time of day when you want to raise or lower the shades as well. The LightLock system in the booth is actually on display at the International Center. So when we're open, feel free and actually experience a true room darkening sensation. And if you'd like, you could also give us a call, and by appointment only, we can actually introduce the LightLock system to you as well. Is there any questions out there, Nadine?
No questions so far, but how long do the batteries last?
So there's 2 types of systems. You can go with the AA or AAA batteries, which will last, depending on how often you use it, anywhere up to 1.5 years. But we've now just introduced this year rechargeable batteries. So you'll never have to change your batteries. Just charge them up every 6 months to a year.
Awesome. And we have a question from Pamela. Pamela asked, are the cells open when bugs might come in? Where bugs might come in? Are the cells open?
Well, it's a honeycomb shade. So like anything, if they catch the bugs, that's no extra charge for you. At least you know where the bugs are. But all you need to do is just basically with compressed air, just blow it out, and it's nice and clean.
Awesome. Okay. And then we have Jackie Connolly in the chats, and she asked, can you hardwire them? Can you do hardwire?
Yes, it can be hardwired, no problem at all. But again, if you're in a condo or if the house has already been built, the nice thing is it's rechargeable batteries, so there's no need to get an electrician. But yes, they can be hardwired. And actually, you can actually make these blinds go up to, depending on the fabric, up to 150 inches wide. So they adapt to many, many different types of size windows.
Okay. And then we have another question from Natalie Francois. She asked, to what extent are they customizable in terms of fabrics?
So they come in hundreds of different colors and fabrics. Duette comes in 4 different pleat sizes, but on the LightLock system, it's only available in the 3/4 inch room darkening fabric.
All right. And then we have a question from Casey. Casey asked, do they come in the full color range?
They do come in, well, they do come in the full color range, depending on the fabric you choose, but there's at least 100 different fabrics you can choose from in the 3/4 inch.
There also, this is a question from Angela. She asked, are there options to do the dual sheer blackout?
Okay, we can do the top down, bottom up blackout. Okay, the sheer no, but you can do it where it's top down, bottom up, so you can have a clear view if you want to bring them down, or bring them all the way up and you get yourself 100% room darkening.
All right. All right, so we will come back to the questions at the very end. And thank you, Danny. And now we'll move on to Jacqueline from Luxe Linen. Hey, Jacqueline, take it away.
Thanks, Nadine. We've seen a burst of innovation in the textiles industry, from digital printing techniques to new sustainable fabric production using post-consumer waste product to make upcycled fabrics. And one of the most exciting innovations are the new performance fabrics and the broad range of stain protections that also meet environmental standards. Today, we're going to be focusing on 4 of our most popular stain protection and performance fabrics: Crypton, Revolution, Alta, and FiberGuard. Why choose performance fabrics? Liquid repellency, UV protection, added durability, stain resistance, mold resistance, odor resistance, and environmentally friendly. And we find that right now, this is one of our most demanding categories for sourcing with the design trade, because with people being locked down during the pandemic, consumers and homeowners are wearing down their furniture. They have kids at home 24/7, and the demands on their furniture are far greater than they ever had before. And so the new stain protections are certainly helping them live a little bit more effortlessly and stress-free. With Crypton fabric, Crypton utilizes a repel and release technology. Each fiber is encapsulated at the manufacturing process, and it's never actually dipped or coated in a fabric or in a substance, which makes it also basically a lifetime fabric. So the life of this protection is going to be pretty much as long as you have the furniture or the fabric in your home. And one of the exciting things about Crypton is that it actually maintains its beautiful hand, because again, it's manufactured through an immersion process rather than being coated. And the velvets with Crypton actually maintain their luster. And so you can still have a very high-end looking piece of furniture using Crypton fabrics, because there's absolutely no impacts to the actual hand or the surface of the fabrics. Next, Revolution fabrics. It's inherently stain resistant, and spills bead up on the fabric, and also actually can be wiped away and are bleach cleanable. It's made from olefin, which is basically non-porous, And it's also a post-consumer material, which makes this fabric 100% recyclable and also upcycled and sustainable. Probably one of the most sustainable fabrics on the market right now, and has the lowest carbon footprint. Allendale has a really nice collection of Revolution fabrics, and it's unlike olefins of the past. This fabric is actually quite soft and quite fashion forward. There's some really beautiful prints coming out of the Revolution design studios. FiberGuard is from Brew Textiles in Europe. It's very much like Crypton, and it's manufactured in a similar fashion. But what's exciting about FiberGuard is its broad range of fashion-forward patterns and textures. Maxwell Fabrics has brought out a significant amount of FiberGuard stain-free technology in their fabrics. And what we love about it is how vast the collection is. You can see just from this stacked book how many colors are just in this one collection. So that's something to source that's not only going to give you high performance fabrics, but also highly cleanable, washable fabrics. And the last one is Alta. Alta is actually not a fabric. It's an application that's topical, but unlike the old topical treatments like Scotchgard and Teflon, Alta is actually non-toxic. It has no solvents, no VOCs, no formaldehydes, no heavy metals, and it passes EPA standards. And it's highly cleanable and absorbent. And I'm going to play this quick video to show you the magic of Alta. And one very important thing to note about Alta is that it can basically convert any fabric into a high performance fabric. So if you have a linen or cotton that you would like to use with stain protection, this could be sent out to the Alta lab and applied onto most surfaces, whether they're natural fibers or synthetic. Also wanted to mention that the Alta textiles are, it's actually, like I said, not a textile, but it's available through all of the major companies that we deal with. But if there's something that you're working with at COM, we could also have it sent out on your behalf and have it treated. Are there any questions?
Yes, we actually have a few questions, so I'm just going to jump right in. Okay. I'm going to start with Pam Gregory. She said, "Hi, Jacqueline, so nice to see you. How do these performance fabrics compare price-wise to a standard equivalent?"
There's a fairly broad range, and it really depends on the jobbers that you're working with, whether it's Cravat, Allendale, Maxwell. Each of the fabric companies have maintained their price points or their value proposition in the marketplace. So some of the fabrics can be quite expensive, but there's also some very well-priced, value-priced fabrics that are stain protected and performance. If you're looking for some real great value in performance fabrics, Revolution is a great option to think about because it actually is made, all their fabrics are made within a 300-mile radius of the mill, and the fabrics are distributed right out of their mill warehouse. So they have a small footprint, a fairly large mill, but a small footprint, and their supply chain is quite tight. So they tend to be a lot more cost effective in sourcing.
All right. And then are the any mills Canadian? That's what Pamela is asking.
No, unfortunately, there aren't any mills in Canada. That's sort of one of the natures of our industry, is that most of the milling of fabrics are done in either Europe or in the United States or in overseas in China or India. But unfortunately, there aren't any Canadian mills. But Alta, for example, is just across the border in Michigan. So it doesn't take a long time to actually have the fabrics treated if you decided to go that route.
All right, and we have a question from Mary. She asked, is there a minimum yardage for Alta treatment? What is the cost? And also what's the lead time for the treatment?
There's a minimum yardage of 5 yards for Alta treatment. And the cost will vary depending on the fabrics, but it could be as low as $4 a yard up to $10 a yard. And testing is also available if you wanted to have the fabric tested before the treatments are applied.
Okay, just because we're running short of time, I'm going to sign it off to you, Andrew, with your next presenter. Thank you, Jacqueline.
Perfect. Thanks, Nadine, for the handoff. Up next, we're going to have Gabe from Kaplan Magnetic Porcelain. Gabe is actually in his TIDC showroom, and he's going to give us a live demo as well as a bit of a background on Kaplan. Gabe, the floor is now yours.
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you. We created a new type of porcelain tile that eases the installation and lets you explore a lot of different design options which weren't previously possible. We install our tiles magnetically. We manufacture and distribute magnetic porcelain tile, which can install without thinset and most importantly without grout lines. So you can finally get that porcelain hardwood look with those seamless lines between the tiles. And you can see the displays, but behind me, I'll pop one of those tiles off the wall and show you how the system works. To remove them or to install them, we just use these suction cups, typically used in the glass industry. And the tiles just peel right off the wall. So it's all Italian porcelain, and we use magnetic backing that's made in the US and assembled all right here in Toronto. And to install on the walls, it's just a two-step process. We have this white panel. It's a composite steel panel that screws directly into the studs. And then the tile just pops right on it. And that's it. It's that easy. It's that quick. There's no mixing of thin sets. You don't have all that dust, all that mess. You don't have to deal with the grout cracking or popping. And if you ever have a damaged tile, you can just pop it off and put it right back on, put a new one right back on in a matter of seconds as opposed to days. We also have a flooring system which uses the exact same tiles. However, instead of the composite steel panel, we use a flexible material. It comes in rolls, and it's just a peel and stick. So you just remove the liner and it sticks down onto your subfloor. And then the tiles install right after that. There's a few new products that are coming up fairly soon, and some are already available that complement our magnetic tiling system. We have, here's one over here that's already on the market. It's a water jet cut vent cover. So these will match the tiles, made out of the exact same tiles that we use for our magnetic system. So you can have that seamless look throughout the entire project. And we're also launching later this year a prefabricated tiled shower base, again, using the same tiles as our system. Countertops, vanities, and sinks, which are made again out of the tiles. So prefabricated, all single piece, ready to install. So you have that quick, seamless, easy installation, and everything will correspond and match with the whole entire series and all offerings. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Gabe. So we have a couple questions. So Catherine let us know that she saw the Jane Lark demonstration actually. Wants to know the cost range for these tiles.
Most of the tiles retail for $15.99 a square foot. Some of the larger slabs will be a little bit more expensive. And then there's the backing material. So we have the underlay for the floor is $3.99 a square foot retail. If you're doing the floor installation, if you're doing the wall installation, you would need our composite steel panel, which is $10.99 a square foot retail again. Now, if you're looking at the cost and comparing to a traditionally installed product, once you factor in the labor, which is really where the bulk of the saving is, the installation process is about 4 times faster. So you're looking at about a quarter of the labor cost and a quarter of time as well. So once you factor in the labor cost, your total installed price, material plus labor, comes out to roughly $1 to $2 a square foot less expensive using the magnetic system than a comparable quality tile installed traditionally.
Perfect. We have another one here from Hi, Them. How can you solve the vapor penetration problem through the joints if applied in a bathroom?
In a bathroom, there's really just two scenarios that are fairly common where you would actually need to grout. One would be the bathroom, and the other one would be a commercial kitchen. We offer a silicone grout, so it's a flexible, waterproof grout that you can apply to the tile. And because the tiles are cut so precisely, allowing for those really tight joints, you can have a really minimal color match grout line, which almost disappears in the bathrooms, but still allows you to remove the tiles if you ever need to replace a damaged tile or if you need to do maintenance. In particular, in a shower, if you need to access the plumbing, you can remove the tiles, you can unscrew the composite steel panel, do the repairs, and pop everything back on, ready to use the same day. You're not chiseling out and making all that mess, not have all that material going to the landfill. It's really quick and versatile in that way.
From Kelly, so Cabin provides their own installers, or do they have their own installers? Sorry.
Yeah, we do have our own installers, but we also offer on-site training to any other installer, any other trade who's looking to use our product, and that's a free service. So on your first project, if you're looking to use our product and use your own installers, we'll send our team on site to train at no extra cost for your first project. Make sure you're comfortable with the system, make sure you're familiar with all the steps, and it's actually very quick and straightforward. So it's really more just for peace of mind that we come and walk you through the process.
Perfect. We got to cut it short on time, so I'll fire off a couple quick ones here. Wendy is wondering if there's a catalog featuring all kind of colors and every shades.
Yeah, we have a catalog available on our website. It's cabline.ca, and we can also email you a PDF copy of that if you'd like.
Perfect. So we spoke about the wet floors and wet surfaces. What about heated wall surfaces, or like say around a fireplace?
So all of our product is rated up to 70 Celsius, so much hotter than any surface should ever be reaching in a house, at least anything that you're contacting. So it's 100% compatible with electric and floor heating, hydronic and floor heating, fireplace surrounds. You just wouldn't put it inside lining a fireplace. That would get too hot, of course, but anywhere else is perfectly fine.
Perfect. Alrighty. Gabe, thanks so much. We're going to pass the baton over to Elsa from IDC Home.
Hi, good afternoon.
Welcome, Ilsa. We are so excited to have you with us again. It's been a while. So tell us, why Belgian design? It's so important now.
Well, why Belgian design in Canada? Well, with Belgian design, we have three focus areas, and it's first innovation, really. Innovation different ways, engineering, flexibility in design, and modularity. The second focus with Belgian design is quality. Quality like refinement, durability, and detail-oriented. And a third very important key focus area for Belgian design is sustainability. And there are different ways, but especially ecological production.
So when it comes to architects, designers, decorators, why do they need to, really think about Belgian suppliers?
Well, first of all, Belgium is really the heart of innovative design in Europe. This will become very clear when I tell you all about Roll-Betania, Mirable Slabbing, Indera, and Minchins. Belgian design is also very trendy. As you know, Belgium is a very small country. Canada is 327 times bigger than Belgium. Yet, there are 11 million people in Belgium. Belgians live in smaller houses than Canadians, but that doesn't mean that they live less luxuriously. Smaller but smarter. Smaller living circumstances will obviously affect our furniture as well, making modularity indispensable. Indera has long been aware of this trend, and Invariable offers its sofa in different modules, both for spacious mansions and for smaller city apartments.
Well, we certainly know that's a real trend here. Space is at a premium. It's happening in the GTA, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a bit more about Indera.
Well, Indera was recently introduced to the Canadian markets. For Indera, the innovation is in the modularity, engineering, and smart fabrics. The last model in this video is the first modular sofa that combines high quality design with a reclining mechanism that has an adjustable backrest, neck support, as well as a footrest. As you can see in this contemporary sofa, you can go quickly from a contemporary sofa to a relaxed sofa, and you can control the 3 built-in patented motors by a snooze button in the sofa or by a remote control. Indera also offers a unique line of AquaClean fabrics that are stain resistant as the fiber are treated before weaving. The second brand that we represent is Royal Botania. For Royal Botania, innovation is all about engineering. The brand new Bloom umbrella is a masterpiece. Let's play the video, and the owner of Royal Botania and designer of this umbrella, Chris van Puinvelde, explains very clear what it's all about. If he wants to come.
There you go.
Side of things. Beyond any doubt, our brand new Bloom umbrella is our latest masterpiece. As you can see, it looks very familiar. It's the shape of the palma that you find in this new beauty, but this time the mechanics are completely different. In fact, what you see here is not a solid piece, but it's different components that all join nicely together to look like a solid piece. But once you operate the spindle here, you see that all these components, they start moving apart, and that in fact what looks like a strutless umbrella is in fact not a strutless umbrella. It has small struts, all cast parts that nicely join together to make it into one solid looking hub. The thing is, the upper hub is the upper hub that moves up by operating the spindle, and when they are in the open position, they join together. The 2 hubs join together to look like one. This one is a 3.8 round version, but it also comes in a 3.3. It also comes in 2 square version, a 275 and a 3.4 meter. And obviously there's a wide array of colors on textiles, and there's also different color options for the structure. All the top, this is all aluminium cast parts, and the pole itself, it's coated stainless steel for added rigidity. So and the mechanics are integrated inside, nicely hidden, and altogether this again is a nice piece that raises the bar when it comes to good-looking outdoor umbrellas.
Wow.
It's impressive, right? A third brand that we represent is Mirabel Slubbing. For Mirabel Slubbing, innovation is one subtle touch that makes the difference between fine and masterly. Slubbing exists since 1903. 4-generation slubbing. Mirabel Slubbing introduced a new collection, 2021. It's the Twining collection. One of the models is Topali. Inspired by the weaving of reed grasses, this machine embroiders reflects to how connectedness creates a whole. The webbing design emerged from the refined stitching and presents itself with a luxurious look. The second one is the Ato. Ato is more straightforward design from the Twining collection. Ato is a perfect mix and match with the Topali and the Takra. The Takra, this is an uncomplicated design, is brightened up with a tiny decorative flange. And then the last one is the Takra, powerful architecture wonders where different patterns and structures become one. symbolize, this is the Takra, symbolize the sophisticated design. With this collection, you can give your client a very luxurious experience in their own home. And then the fourth brand that we represent is Mentions. In the first video, you can see a coffee table where you have an innovative way to present your design books. It offers a unique combination of design and function. And a little bit further, you can see a power button for the light in the cabinet, nice and clean behind the doors.
That's awesome.
And then in the next video, the last video that we want to share, you can see the amazing wings where the system is very well engineered, so you can go for very smoothly and fast from a small table to a table for 6 people. It's really smart, small but smart. So if you want to have more information about Belgian design, you can come to the Belgian Design Experience Center. You can visit us at 106 108. We work by appointment, or you can send us an email for a Zoom presentation.
And you'll have some of those exciting new prototypes in your showroom soon, yes, especially from Mentions. Very interesting functions. We also know it's important to note that you see 4 brands, but you have 12 now.
We have 12, yes.
Growing, I'm sure, and all very innovative. I know some people have asked about, logistics, and how does that work when it comes to IDC home products?
Well, we really organize the logistics completely for the designers and the architects, so they don't have to care about it. We make sure they buy from the Belgian suppliers through us, and we make sure that the product comes from the supplier all the way to the end consumer. So that's tragic that the logistics, you don't have to care in it. We all take it over. For us, it's important that Canadian architects and designers can really buy very easily from the Belgian suppliers, and that they can focus on design and innovation and not so much on logistics. That's our job.
And what are you finding right now in terms of timing? Is it the same as it's always been, or?
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, it takes from order, if it's a customized piece, if it's furniture, it takes, same like you order here in Canada, between 10 to 12 weeks. With bedding, it's only 4 weeks. So the Mirabelle slabbing bedding, you order, customized piece, and 4 weeks later, you have everything for your client. So they work very efficient.
That's great. I'm assuming are there any products you have that are not customized, and would that be a shorter lead time?
No, we only do the customized pieces. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Well, maybe for Royal Britannia, yeah, Royal Britannia has pieces that are in stock, and then it only takes 4 weeks. But most of the furniture that we do and most of the linens we do, it's customized.
And you have lots of displays in the showroom now. We have a question, but I know you're getting some new ones in March, correct?
Yes, we're gonna sell all the products or most of the products that we have in the showroom. So we're gonna have all the newest models from Belgium in March or April. We're gonna have also much more, especially for Indira and Mom, the sofas, we're gonna have much more choice. So that's something the designers ask us when they come in, that they can choose with their clients between 3-4 different models. Now we have one big sofa from Indira, so we're gonna change that in the 4 best sellers from Europe. We're gonna bring them in. Most of them with engineered modules.
Lots of tech built in too, I know, with Indira. So thank you so much, Ilse. I'll leave you with a comment from Jackie Connolly. She said she had a Zoom with IDC Home and was very impressive.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. So next up, we have our dynamic duo at Big Ass Fans. They're always thinking innovation and thinking ahead. Welcome, Tracy and Johnny.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you for having us. So today we're going to talk about our Haiku and Essence UVC fans. Johnny's going to talk more about the technical side of things. He's a lot more techie than I am. So he's going to start with the Haiku fan. If you've been on the TIDC talks before, we have spoken about the Haiku and the Haiku UVC. We do have a Haiku UVC fan on display in our showroom at TIDC. You'll notice that we're using the universal mount for the Haiku fan, as we do need a ceiling minimum of 9.5 feet. The Haiku fan comes in 3 sizes, 52, 60, and 84, and we have 9 finishes. Johnny?
Tracy. I'll try and fulfill my technical duties.
Yeah.
First things first, just a quick crash course on how this all works. What we have here is an ultraviolet UVC spectrum light that is attached to the fan as an uplight. So it's always shining on the ceiling. What we're doing is we're pulling air through that disinfection zone as the fan circulates. So the fan itself is unchanged. It's still the quiet, efficient performance and comfort benefits. It's just we're adding that germicidal function. And how that works is as you pull pathogens through that disinfection zone, the UV light actually damages the DNA and RNA of the viruses themselves. So when you do that, they can't reproduce. We're a lot safer and happier and comfortable. So that's ultimately in a nutshell how it works. Now, if you jump to the next slide, Nick, one of the things that we're trying to compensate for is the limitations of an HVAC system. And again, this is not a one or the other thing. You know, we've built our business of 20 years plus on filling in the gaps of HVAC systems, right? Whether it be comfort, pushing the warm air down, getting air dispersed to where it needs to be. The same applies for disinfection means, because you're very limited if you have an induct solution or something that's more passive. What we've created here is a marriage between, you know, high efficiency fan technologies and disinfection. And when you have that in room in a safe manner, you can effectively run the solution while people are breathing. People, as we know, don't stop breathing. So if you're in a room full of, you know, a classroom or an office setting, those pathogens, the virus cells, are accumulating, and it's not being dealt with the HVAC system as you would hope it would. So we want to fill in those gaps where we can. Now, Tracy mentioned the Haiku, right? So again, still the pretty aesthetic look of the Haiku. We're just adding that UVC light. The light itself is not visible. So we've added a blue LED diode as well to show that the light is on. If the client didn't like that, we could remove it. But again, it's something that we just want to have as a safeguard to remind people, maybe don't stare at it. Again, it's at the ceiling, so it's virtually impossible. And it is inherently safe to your skin, but we just want to make sure that as an added redundancy, you can tell that it's on. Few high-level points here. Again, it's a UVC spectrum light. For any fan nerds that may be in the audience, that is a 265 nanometer spectrum. So what that really means to all of us is that it still has the germicidal features of a UV light, but it is inherently safe for humans to be in the room with, particularly because of our patented design to have it on a ceiling fan shining up at the ceiling. All of this has been tested. It is ozone free, and it is backed by third-party laboratories. So we've partnered with a level 3 biosafety laboratory. What that means is they can test very dangerous things. And we've partnered with them early, and I think we've given them a lot of work. What you're seeing here is just one test where we ran the Haiku fan for 20 minutes in a controlled environment with an aerosol virus. And this is tested for SARS-CoV-2. The log reduction in that was 99.999%. So virtually eliminating the pathogens within 20 minutes. So now picture that running in your space all the time and what that means to your environment. So this is efficacy. We'll jump ahead a little bit because it goes beyond just controlled testing. What we do at Big Ass Fans is provide an airflow solution that is demonstrated with CFD or computational fluid dynamics. It sounds inherent that you just put a fan up, you're going to get a breeze, but there's a lot more that goes into it. So for an office, a bedroom, whatever the case may be, we want to make sure we model it as part of our free design support. And ultimately what you can get from that on the disinfection side is not just efficacy, but a real representation of that room. So your client's space, the dimensions, the intricacies of it, the amount of people in that space, the usage of that space will all carry some inherent baseline risk. We can quantify that, and then we can show the, again, third-party backed results of what that risk reduction looks like. And as you can see in this space, you know, if you're in that room for an hour, you have a very high risk of contracting the virus if you walked into that room as a healthy person. So that this is alarming to some, but we use it as a tool to just make sure they're informed. So Essence, as we alluded to, does have this feature. Trace, what should everyone know about the Essence just as a product line?
So the Essence fan comes 8 to 14 feet in diameter. We actually have an Essence fan not spinning at TIDC in our showroom, but it is on the wall, so you can kind of get an up close look at the blades. It is used in a lot of restaurants, churches. It's very quiet. We have seen a lot of our customers that have larger residential spaces use them there as well. We can also do custom colors. So standard is what you see on the screen there, but if you wanted an all blue or green or orange fan, we can do that as well.
Awesome, thanks, Trace. And yeah, same idea here. We've added the UVC uplight as a function for the Essence fan. The cool part with Essence, as opposed to Haiku, is this is fully retrofittable. So if any of your clients had one of these in their great room or in an office, and they want to add that air disinfection technology, we can do it after the fact, which is really great. Same process here. We're pulling air through that disinfection zone. A bit more volume of air is moved with the Essence, so you're going to get a bigger disinfection volume, and we would help quantify that. You know, just some renderings of where we see this. The cool part is we're already starting to partner with school boards. We're getting these fans in where people are. You know, the reason a lot of us are at home right now is because it's not inherently safe to be in a room with a bunch of people, and we're learning more and more about this. So we want to get back to this, but we want to make sure we do it safely. So, you know, school applications, fitness comes to mind. They're taking this very hard, as you could imagine. You know, we want to add that form and function, but also add that air disinfection to get them back opened. And last but not least, you know, safety first. Everything's tested. We have a 44,000 square foot R&D lab, the only one of its kind. Beyond that, we do our own due diligence, but we also partner with a lot of different agencies, and we test to every standard you could possibly imagine to make sure that not only is it over-engineered, but it's inherently safe before we ever put this to market. But that's something we take care of. Any questions?
Awesome. We have 3 quick questions. Is it okay to have plants in the room with the UV light?
Yep, great question. Again, it is inherently safe because of where it's directed. That's something you wouldn't want a plant under for a long period of time, but again, it's never going to be directed at the plant or anyone in that room for that matter. Good question.
Is there a max height that these should be installed to be effective?
Yeah, so we do recommend higher ceiling, so about 9.5 feet and up is ideal. Now there are exceptions that can be made, but it's a case-by-case situation, and our engineering team would have a look at that.
And there's also a question, if you have an existing Haiku fan, can you add UVC?
So unfortunately right now, the Haiku fan has to be uplight compatible. So if by chance you purchased a fan recently and it was an uplight compatible fan, you could swap out the existing uplight for the UVC, but the standard downlight compatible Haiku fans are not retrofittable.
Well, thank you so much, you two. Well, what an amazing system. I'm going for orange, Tracy, and I'm ready. We're going to move on. I know there's a few other questions, but we will try to get your questions answered after that we don't get to today. It's nice to see so many questions. Next up, we have Sherwin Williams, our special guest today with Emily and Victoria. Welcome.
Hello.
Hi. All right, I'm just going to get our presentation up here. All right, so thank you so much for having us. So today, Emily and I are going to be talking to you about the Sherwin-Williams Color Snap Visualizer. So I'm going to run through a quick demo of how to use the visualizer on our website, and Emily's going to do a quick demo showing you how to use photos taken from your client spaces. So if you're working with them virtually and they're sending you photos, or if hopefully we get to be back in our client spaces soon, you can actually snap a photo of their room right there on the spot and virtually render it with them and show them what it's going to look like. If you don't have the Color Snap tools already, we encourage you to download them for your iPads, tablets, and mobile devices. They're free to download from your app store. So we're going to jump right into the visualizer for web. So what you see here on the screen is our main landing page. This is a living room, and as I'm kind of touring around here, you can see that the room has already been highlighted for us. So we've got all of our lines in place. There's two ways you can create your customized palette. You can either use the bottom here where it says find colors in your digital color wall, or you can go to the top to explore color and click on the digital color wall there. Now from here, you see our color wall the same way it's set up in all of our stores. And I'm just going to scroll over to the neutrals section and select a couple options just by clicking the little plus sign. So as I'm scrolling through and changing the colors, you can see we can alter whether it's a lighter or dark color, change the undertones just by tabbing to the left and right, so on and so forth. We also have a few other collections available to you from this drop-down menu at the top. So I'm going to go to our Emerald Designer Edition collection. This is a new premium product that was launched in the beginning of 2020. And for myself, Rustic and Refined is my favorite palette. I love the watery blues and greens. So I'm going to select Fresh Eucalyptus there. And from our Minimal and Modern collection, I'm going to take White Snow and add that to our palette as well. And then lastly, I'm going to go back into the drop-down menu to our historic colors. And I'm going to add Copen Blue as well. So the historic palette is 140 colors that are meant specifically to be used in historic properties. They're all pre-approved for interior and exterior use. And then to get back to our main screen and our room scene, we just click the little close tab. So there we have our color palette along the bottom. And all we have to do to paint the walls is select the color we want to use and click on the area where we want to put that color. So we've got Repose Gray as the main color, Fresh Eucalyptus as our accent, and White Snow for all of the trim and architectural details. If I wanted to change the color, we can certainly do that easily enough just by clicking and changing the color there. Now, if we don't have a color, maybe we want to go a little bit more dramatic on the accents. We can take the Dorian Gray and click the little color chip there. And what you see pop up is a very informative screen. So it's going to give you the color that we started with, as well as the full family of colors from light to dark in that palette. So I'm going to select Black Fox and add that to our palette at the bottom as well. Below that, you see a coordinating color scheme that's already been put together for you as inspiration. Under similar colors, you'll find lighter, darker, more muted tones, as well as some with a bit of a different undertone that kind of falls into the same family. And the Details tab will actually show you where you're going to find these colors in our color collections, as well as the RGB, hex value, and the light reflectance value of the colors we've selected. And then just to the far right here, because we selected Black Fox, we have the option to show you a few different room scenes that are already pre-painted with that color, so you know you're making the right selection before you even get back to your room scene. So to get back to the room scene, just click the little X in the top corner and we're back. And then again, we're just going to click where we want to change the color and we're all set. So one other quick thing that I do want to point out here, always save your images and your palettes. When you click the save icon, it's going to prompt you to register or to log into the mysw.com website. That actually allows you to save all of your colors and all of your designs across all of our platforms. So you can take these same colors on the go with your mobile app and with your iPad and use them with your clients. And then lastly, because your clients are probably going to want to know what the colors will look like when the light changes. Here, obviously, right now, we're looking at it from a perspective of daylight shining through the windows. It's nice and bright. But in the evening, if we click this little toggle at the bottom right, it shows you how the color changes when we're using pot lights or have accent lighting in the space. So that's a quick overview of the web version of it. I'm going to toss it over to Emily, who's going to show you how we use the iPad option now to actually take in-place photos and render them on the spot for your clients.
Okay, thank you very much, Victoria. Hey, everybody, I'm Emily Grundy. I'm the designer kind of executive for Sherwin-Williams. We're going to go over what it looks like on the iPad visualizer. So this is a quick, easy rendering service that you can use. It's a free download. It has all the exact same features that Victoria just went over, except for there's some exciting details. So what we want to do is go to the same paint a photo area. We're going to upload a photo directly from your client. So if they're working remotely and you're doing this virtually, they can send you their pictures via email. You can download them to your iPad, and then you can have access to them right from your pictures right on your iPad. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a live demonstration. So we're going to take a photo of my wall down here in the basement. So once you've got your photo all set up, all you have to do is tap to paint. So it's super simple, very easy. You're just selecting your color from your palette down below, the exact same way that Victoria just showed us. And we're going to tap to paint. So the coolest thing about this program is that it really maintains your highlights and your lowlights. So you're getting a very, very realistic view of what this color is actually going to look like in your space using your current lighting, which is a very big thing that we need to talk about during design, right? So there's another cool feature as well, which is the define an area tool. So if you wanted to create stripes, or you had a kitchen, you're doing a kitchen color consultation, you wanted to highlight just the cabinetry areas, you can as well do that. All you have to do is tap, and it will pick whatever kind of color you're looking for. You can move these all around if you have a different style or cabinetry color or wherever you're going with it. You can also toggle back and forth between your original designs and what was previously there. So you can add different colors into the mix by simply tapping. If you've missed anything, you can always come back, hold down a little bit onto the screen, and it will highlight different areas. If you got it on anything else, you're just removing with the define an area tool, and it will remove the color from that space. Very simple, very easy to use. If you wanted to share this rendering directly with your clients, you can do so by hitting the share button at the bottom of the screen. It's going to auto format into this beautiful PDF, which shows your color palettes down below for your reference for your clients. And you can also put your show original photo. So this is what your space looked like before your beautiful color consultation happened. And then here's the after as well. So now we're going to talk about some product information from Sherwin-Williams. Take it away, Victoria.
I can tell you that app was so helpful for me as a client. It's incredible. I love it.
It's a great app.
Thank you very much, Emily. All right, so on to our last bit of technology for you today. This is our new Sherwin-Williams Super Paint with air purifying technology. It's part of our new Sherwin-Williams Living Well collection. So with the Super Paint air purifying line, it provides all of the coverage, washability, and durability that you've come to love in our Super Paint line, but it now has the added benefit of being a VOC compliant, antimicrobial, and air purifying product. It comes complete with its own collection of more than 500 colors, and you'll find 11 stunning palettes as well. So you can specify the Sherwin-Williams Super Paint air purifying technology in homes and commercial spaces where odors caused by food or pet smells or even bacteria tend to linger. The paint film is designed to trap odors, while the new air purifying technology will actually transform formaldehydes and other aldehydes that you'll typically find caused by flooring, insulation, or new construction materials into an inert gas and water molecule that renders it virtually harmless. And because this product is tinted with Sherwin-Williams Zero VOC tints, you can rest assured that no additional VOCs are being added when you specify a color with Sherwin-Williams. If you have any questions or want to learn more about the Sherwin-Williams Super Paint with air purifying technology, or if you're interested in receiving the Living Well color collections, you can reach out to myself or Emily at the end of the presentation.
Wow, that's amazing. What a great product. Living Well. So we had a couple questions here, but we really want to do our, if you don't mind, ladies, we'll share those questions and you can directly respond to a couple of them after.
No problem.
I really want to do a quick roundtable, bring everyone back and really talk about together about what innovation means to the future, specific to your company. If you had a crystal ball, what would that mean for you? And where do you see it going?
This innovation is all about the future. And the nice thing is that the future is here today. So innovation is all about quality and beautiful window fashions. You'll see probably within 5 years, many of the products will be cordless and motorized with power view. The products will be softer like drapery and will be more multifunctional like a blind. You'll see that every year, Honeywell's come out with a new and innovative product, we promise you.
Nice. Next up, we have Jacqueline.
In the textiles industry, we're seeing a lot of R&D around sustainability in textiles. And we're also seeing a lot of companies, a lot of the mills working on their circular economies, meaning that they're looking at using post-consumer materials like water bottles and the like to produce new textiles. And we're seeing a lot of that make its way back into the home decor industry. And one of the other exciting things that we're seeing is the convergence between residential and commercial fabrics, that the commercial fabrics are now so soft and durable that you can actually use them in your home environments. And that's something that we're watching very closely and excited about what's coming.
Gabe.
And we're constantly innovating, and that's really the core of what we do. Our mission is to revolutionize the construction industry through material. And we're always bringing out new materials, new ways to install them, with the ultimate goal of reducing labor and bringing the value into the material itself. So I think I mentioned, touched on it a little bit before. We're bringing in the prefabricated pile porcelain vanities and integrated sinks, so all one piece, quick, easy, clean installation. Porcelain countertops, which have all of the great properties of quartz countertops and granite combined, and at a lower price point as well, which will also be easy to install and magnetic. And there's lots of other products. I won't take up too much time going to them, but that's really the core of what we do. We're always trying to see what materials are taking up a lot of the labor and installation, and try to speed that up, clean it up, and make it more cost effective.
Wonderful, thank you. Elsa?
Well, I'm Canadian, but originally from Belgium. So for the Belgian design, innovation it's really important, and it's about sustainability. I'm completely agree with what Jacqueline told me. In Europe, because it's much smaller, people live in smaller places, but that doesn't mean that it's not. It's very luxurious and very smart in fabrics and also in furniture. With Mirabel Slabbing, for instance, she makes everything custom made, so everything, all the products that come in are gonna use no landfill. With Robotena, it's all about engineering, right? And for Indira, that's a really they have an example. They make everything modular. So that means if you come from university, you buy your first apartment, you have a very small module sofa, and a few years after you go to a bigger house, you build on that quality first piece and build with other module a bigger sofa, so that nothing has to go to the landfill. That's really sustainability, engineering, and a modularity for Belgian design.
Absolutely.
Good points, everyone. I think at Big Ass Fans, a big part of it is being able to adapt. So whenever there's a problem, I mean, for example, we started our business to keep cows cool, and now we're talking to you about air disinfection to keep people safe from coronavirus. So I think just listening to the problems that are out there and also staying ahead of the curve. I mean, we started our product that we just presented you today before we knew about coronavirus. And that's just a testament to where the world is going, where buildings are going in terms of indoor air quality and how we interact with each other. So we want to make sure that those environments are ready for what comes next. And I think we have that product.
At Sherwin-Williams, I think the coolest part about our innovation team, product innovation team, is that it really follows the same kind of style as our color forecast team. So we're really kind of going through that ebb and flow together, figuring out what are the consumers' needs, what are the things that are important to people, what are the lifestyle, the concepts that are going to be important in the future. So looking forward, we're, specifically about the Super Paint air purifying technology, this is very top of mind right now. People are wanting products to bring into their home that are safe, that are sound, that they know are going to be this, active agent in their home and not just this passive building material. So really looking forward for unique product opportunities as we have a very informed consumer out there who is doing all of the research, all of the products necessary to make their indoor built environment safe for themselves and for their families.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Mhm.
Wow, we did it. We're at 1:02, so we're a little over time, but we really want to thank all of our presenters, our really active questions. We'll get those questions that weren't answered, don't worry, to the right people and get back to you on those. And we'll be letting you know about the prize shortly after. Thank you so much for joining us. Clearly, we need an Innovation 2.0.
Thank you. Thank you all so
Thanks,
much.
everyone.
Thank you.